All right, welcome back. You're still tuned into the agenda right here on the SABC News channel. We're changing gear a bit now, taking you to something lighter after a hectic news day today. So we're bringing you this conversation now in studio. Sizwe Zako is celebrating 45 years of musical greatness. The music producer, composer, and keyboard player has shaped the soundtracks of families, of churches, festivals, as well as radio waves across South Africa and beyond. Now, Zako has fingerprints on some of the most timeless gospel, jazz, Afro-pop classics. And in 1990, Zako produced a hit, Umuzi by Pure Magic, which we just played now. And he joins us now in studio. Babu Zako, I must say it's something surreal to be joined by a legend of your stature today in studio. Welcome to the agenda. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Sase. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, it's great to have you. You know, as we were rolling that music video before we came back to break, I literally saw the entire floor move and jiggle along with it. And I'm sure I was still in nappies when that song was released. And 45 years in the business is no child's play. Talk to us about some of your reflections.
Well, you know, history doesn't tell when it's starting to happen. But now, as we look back and looking all the work that has been done, it's quite exciting. Yes.
And just as we, laying the foundations for our conversation now, 45 years, as we've just mentioned, you've moved across genres. You have not confined yourself to just gospel, not just jazz, not just Afro-soul, but also you've broadened across the musical genre spectrum and you've produced hits. How do you really do it, and how do you refine this creative genius that is able to, move along with the times and move along across genres with ease as you have done?
Well, I must say that when we were younger, the competition was rather too strong. I mean, you had the Brenda Fassis, the Yvonnes were very, very, very huge at that time, and I think that would force one to sort of raise the bar as high as you can to survive, because really there was a whole lot of strength. Musicians were very strong, I must say.
And they were all strong. And here's the thing, the yester generation or the previous generation of music, have been held as being quite not just creative, but also very disciplined when it comes to music. And you always hear conversations around how this generation of musicians is not really as disciplined as the generation that we've seen work with you, which is exactly why they've managed to sustain and have longevity in the industry. What conversations do you think today's generation of music should be having, and what lessons really should they be taking from the likes of yourself as well as other musicians that have walked before you?
I must be honest, there are great, new musicians that are coming out, and all it's just to keep it going, because now you don't want someone to come with a big song and then all of a sudden we don't know what happened to him, and him or her. I think all those little things, character, respecting time and all that, and make it a point that you push for excellence in everything you touch. Yes.
And you have mentored, you have shaped, and brought about great musicians whose music we still enjoy till today, the likes of Rebecca Malope and many others. And I remember I think it was Rebecca Malope who paid tribute to you. She was doing a song for you, and there was something also in the social media networks around that. To have such musicians also come and pay tribute to you and say they're here because of you. How does that really make you feel, Tata?
It makes one feel very good. I mean, Dumi Kokstad was very young when we did his first recording in our studio at Spraidview. And to see him doing so great, one really becomes emotional, happy though, you know. Yes, yes. All the artists, Rebecca and them, and all that kind of stuff, it makes one think that all the effort really paid at the end of the day. Yes.
I'm going to ask you a bit of an unfair question now. I see your eyes also light up as we have conversations around some of your greatest reflections in this illustrious career that you've enjoyed for 45 years now. If I were to ask you now to pick some highlights from that 45 years, what would you give packaged to me right now and say, these are some of my highlights?
Well, there's been extremely good moments in our journey, but there's one that I will really never forget when we were invited to 10 days by President Mandela. And when we went there, we were received so well, and we arrived at 10 days, and somebody told us that, wait here, Bishop Tutu is coming to welcome you, and he will tell you what to do, where to go, and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, really, Bishop Tutu and Madiba for the first time. So it was so great, you know. We've dined with President in Zambia, Zimbabwe, and all that. So it's really been a good journey. There's quite a lot of great moments we've enjoyed.
Yeah. And as you say that, you know, I'm going to press on that, because you talk about your highlights, you know, those many highlights, particularly when we look at the new democratic dispensation in the country. You know, we come from a dark past as South Africa. Those times, if there's one thing that brought us together as South Africans during those, you know, dark times, it was music, it was dance. Those were sources of hope and inspiration for the country. Just being part of that transition of the country and being in the forefront of creating the rhythm that got us going and kept us going as a nation. How was that for you?
Well, one was fortunate because when I started my first recording, I recorded Lina Kama, known as Ebony. So I didn't have experience, and the record company, which was led by Mr. Peter Tladi, said to me, now that you don't have producing experience, we'll give you Mr. Ray Phiri. And Ray Phiri produced the album, and the lessons that I learned from him really played a huge role in my success. Yes.
For you to be able to produce, right? I'm told by artists that you must be able to listen as well and take in other sounds. Is that what you do? Do you also get inspiration perhaps from some other musicians, and who would those musicians be?
Definitely, and fortunately when we were younger, there were a lot of influence from huge groups, even from abroad, groups like Earth, Wind and Fire, Kool and the Gang, and all that, you know. So you'll pick up some few things from there and say, I like that brass section, let me put it here. Miriam Makeba, oh, I love that melody. Can I twist it and bring it my way and all that? So because there was so many hits then, the Commodores and all that kind of stuff. So we would really be influenced and be able to say, this is how I should lift this song and all that kind of stuff. So all those things have really assisted. Yes.
And here's the thing also, we are having this conversation conversations about musicians and them being able to sustain themselves in the business is also quite a hot topic right now, where we're seeing some musicians, you know, struggle to stay the cause purely because they're not able to take ownership of their work, or sometimes they're exploited by the industry as well. Just what advice would you share with some of these musicians, particularly when it comes to taking charge and control of their music? Because I know some musicians would tell you that I must focus on the creative side of things, which is just, you know, performing on stage and making people happy. But the reality is there are so many elements to that. There are many elements that shape to the final product that we see as consumers. How would you advise such musicians at a time right now where we're seeing a wave of musicians also take charge of their craft?
Well, it is important that you get people who will help you with a whole lot of things. Naturally, you cannot understand everything at one go, and unfortunately, as musicians, the first thing you want, you don't want to know about the business side of things. You want to see your album being released. You want to see your CD on the record shops and all that kind of stuff. So you don't mind about a whole lot of things. I think we were fortunate. There were guys like Peter Tlati in our case, who guided us and helped us and be able to take care of a lot of difficult things, I must say. Yes, and like I say, you need to have people around you where you can go and ask for advice and all that, you know.
Yeah. And celebrating this milestone of 45 years, I keep saying again, it's no child's play as well. It's 45 years of fortitude, 45 years of blood, sweat and tears, and pouring into your craft and fine-tuning your craft as well. What do you have lined up, and what are some of your fans going to be enjoying as a celebration of this milestone?
Well, the celebration of this milestone, we have a concert tomorrow at Lyric Theatre, Gold Reef City, starting at 3. Most of the artists that I've worked with will be accompanying me and performing tomorrow. And thanks to young people, Vovi Patala and my daughter Tandile Zako, who have really put things together in the company called Black Diamond, and a whole lot of other people who have helped us, Mhlobo Wenene Radio, who have helped us in putting things together. So we will be celebrating. On top of that, you know, for many years people were asking, when are we having Pure Magic back, the group? And the challenge was to get the voice. Eventually, from Nelspruit again. I think I'm lucky with Nelspruit because that's where I got Rebecca as well. There's another Mukwena, Michael Mukwena. Remember, the first vocalist was Peter Mukwena. The second one was Vuyo Mukwena. Now we managed to get another dynamic singer by the name of Michael Mukwena. So it's a double-edged sword because we will be launching Pure Magic as well.
So you're still actively involved?
Yes. Yeah? A lot.
And how are you finding that, especially with time, where you hear many say, actually, you know, the older you grow is the more you get a more refined palette to appreciate music and the changes that it brings, particularly when we look at the ever-changing musical landscape in the country. We see the new genres also coming in. Did you also find that you have a finer eye now for talent? Definitely.
And also, the lovely thing is to mix our world with the digital, you know, putting things together and just get an unexpected, surprising, exciting outcomes, you know, putting the old together with the new. You know, that's what we're really busy with.
So what can people expect to come out of this concert at the Lyric Theatre? Are you going to have some of the musicians that you've mentored as well take to the stage and perform?
Yes, definitely.
Who are they?
We've got Veli Swaske, we've got Pastor Mayedwa, we've got Kanyisa from Youth with Mission, and a number of them. We've got Zodwa Tweku, also whom we've written many songs as we're sitting together in Port Elizabeth, which is Gqeberha now. So we've written a number of songs, very exciting new gospel stuff that we will be launching tomorrow there. Legendary musician Sizwe Zako, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate your time on the program. Thank you so much, and we wish you all the best for tomorrow's Thank you so much.
concert.
Thank you so much.
Right, that's legendary musician as well as producer Sizwe Zako joining us here on the agenda. Also, swiftly ushering us to the end of today's installment of the program. Thank you so much for being with us over the past 3 hours. But of course, more news and updates continues right here on the channel on the morning's developing stories, including those arrests that have been made, which we spoke to Criselda Lewis about. But your weather update coming up next. From myself and the entire team, have yourself a spectacular afternoon going forward. Take care.